Greetings, friends. My name is Nick, aka Red Hunter, and I'm bringing you another part of the Let's Learn EU4 series. This is exactly where we left off, having just a recap. I showed the different functions and a brief overview of everything, and we made our first alliances with France, as you can see by clicking on the diplomatic thing. Button. We made our first alliances with France, Portugal, and Navarre, who we're going to try to make our vassal in this episode. Let's unpause. Let's try to get a royal marriage with France. Let's unpause. Okay, so the game starts on speed 1, but with these arrows, you can make this game speed slower or faster. Watch. Or faster. Up to speed 5. I recommend you play on speed 2 or speed 3 to start. We're gonna offer France a royal marriage. They will accept, as you can see by that green check mark. We'll take the royal marriage from Navarre. We'll pause it. Spacebar also pauses, and we're going to improve relations with them. When you click to improve relations, you improve your relations every month. The closer your relations are to 0, the easier they are to change. Hostile relations are hard to change. And then once a nation already likes you, it's slower to make them like you more. You can see they're at 117 right now for the various reasons. We need them to be at least 190 so we can offer them. But something else you should do if you have a navy, which we do. Barks are trade ships. We should send them out on a mission to protect trade. And you can see when you go to protect trade what it'll cost and what your change will be. You can also see the trade arrows. This is our home node. And we're going to lose 3 ducats a month, but it's still worth it because it adds trade power. And now the rest of these ships can be, we can just leave them there. They're heavy ships, which are used for combat, and transports, which are used for moving troops. Galleys are used for combat in inland seas, such as the Mediterranean. So we have a mission fulfilled. We have built to our force limit. Any growing country must maintain a reasonably sized army. By expanding our forces, we can both further our political interests abroad and stimulate our domestic economy. Click to okay. And you can see we have total army size 100% of our force limit. You completed the mission. Build to the force limit gives you the following effects. Still gets thriving arms industries for 25 years. Giving the following effects: morale of armies +5, excellent. Land maintenance modifier -5, excellent. That means that our troops are better and cheaper for the next 25 years. We're gonna leave them there. We don't need to gather them up yet. We don't need them. The units can't move because they have low morale, and until the morale is at least half, they can't be issued new orders. What? Currently hiding from... There's mission setting as aggressiveness, bold, default. Now we watch our relationship improve. We watch our money tick up. We watch our manpower tick back up. And we wait for our truce to this to expire. Now, we want the mission we'd like to complete. We'd like to prepare for reconquest of. We need to increase our navy size. And we don't this. What we're going to do instead is we're going to put down Granada and we're going to get some claims on them. Claims to Casus Belli. Casus Belli is Latin for reason for war. So we're going to build a spy network. We need 20 spy network, increasing 1.4 each month to get a claim, to be able to fabricate a claim. As you can see this. And while we're at it, we're going to fabricate a claim on Aragon because they're our rivals. So we're going to build our spy network. That pause. Okay. So Poland is telling us about the successor of Władysław III. Well, among the possible options they went with, we need a Jagalon, which they will do 75% of the time as a choice of their action. This means, in practical terms, that Poland has placed Lithuania into a personal union. As you can see here, by them being Lithuania being a junior partner, it means that Lithuania fights their wars, but can't declare their own wars. They use their army to help Poland out. Personal unions are very powerful tools in the game if you can get nations under them you want to. We're going to get a chance to get 2 nations under a personal union. I'll read this in a minute. We're going to get a chance with the Iberian wedding event, which hopefully will fire at some point. We're going to get a chance to put Aragon and Naples under a personal union. Hopefully that happens. Anyway, France tells us of the surrender of Maine. Okay. So there's an event that fires either the next part of the 100 Years' War, or England gives France the province of Maine, which is right here. You can see that England considers this to be one of their core provinces. In exchange for accepting the Treaty of Paralis in 1944, the country of Maine was promised to France. In practice, however, this is taking quite some time to materialize. The arrival of Charles the Seventh himself on the scene seems to have made the hold-up go away. However, and finally, Maine is now in our hands. So, usually, sometimes England goes to war over Maine, and sometimes they just give up Maine. This time they surrendered Maine. So, no war between France and England for now. We're going to go to speed 4 because nothing's happening. Again, I recommend that you, at least to orient yourself, you play on speed 3 or speed 4, speed 2 or speed 3. But nothing's happening right now. So what can I teach you? To see, as a reminder, our truce will expire in 1448 with Granada. We're going to attack them almost immediately after our truce expires. Okay. So how do alliances work? Alliances are defensive in nature, almost automatically. It is very likely that if we are attacked, that France, Portugal, and Navarre will defend us. I say very likely because it's not guaranteed. there could be situations where they wouldn't defend us, but a general rule of thumb is that defensive allies are almost always on the call. If France gets attacked, like let's say by England or by Burgundy, they're going to call us into the war and to defend them along with their other allies. There's also the possibility that allies will come to your aid in offensive wars. Yeah. And that's based on their interests. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. You can see here we have a province improvements button where we can build province improvements. Right now we could build more forts if we wanted to at level 2 of castle. We're not going to because forts cost money to maintain. We don't need any more. But we could if we wanted to. Later on we'll be able to attack Diplo Tech 4 will be able to build marketplaces, and then Advent Tech 4 will be able to build churches, and so on and so on. Churches and marketplaces and workshops later on increase the money you make every month. Allies will sometimes uh, come to your aid if so Moldavia scorned Poland, and Hungary is going to. You can see there a March of Hungary. England has claimed one of our provinces. England has claimed what now? They claimed. Well, let's see. Which is gotta be somewhere right here. The Circassian ballet. They've been fabricating on us. They're welcome to try. Anyway, your allies will usually support you if you're attacking their rival, or if the war is in their favor. If you have the right DLC, we lost our general. That's not good. If you have the right DLC, combat favor allies use a trust system where you aha, see. Shows a pop-up. We're gonna the nation of France, your faithful ally, is requesting that you come to their aid in the French conquest. Call to arms. The nation of France, your faithful ally, is requesting that you come to their aid in the French conquest of Rienis against Brittany. This is a war that France has started. Brittany is out of Munster and Aragon. We will join as a regular ally. It'll be twice as expensive for the enemy to take our provinces, but we will not be able to call on our allies. If we decline, we lose 25 prestige, and our diplomatic reputation will suffer for 5 years. We are not going to decline. But before we accept, we're going to grab a... We're going to fabricate a claim on Aragon. We're going to take... we now have a claim on them. Alright. I'm going to stop building a spy network. We're going to accept. You'll see immediately that our... I'm going to go back to see immediately that our forts turn on and that our guys start to recover morale. Okay, we have trustworthy allies because we have 2 or more allies with at least 150 opinion of us. That increases our diplomatic reputation. Now we're gonna go to war. I'm gonna show you how to fight a war. We're gonna bring our navies together. We're gonna spend 50 diplo power to hire an admiral. We're gonna bring our. Alright, we're gonna pause. You can see that they're moving towards our country. We're gonna move everything to our capital by highlighting it. We're gonna bring you to Madrid. We're gonna take the main part of our army. We're gonna make our heir and king military leaders because they both suck. We both want them dead. So he's slightly better. He's slightly better. And then he's slightly worse, so you can go to the smaller army. We could have also spent 50 military points to get a general. How good a general is based on army tradition and a few of the modifiers. We can also get a general from our state, but we're not going to worry about that right now. But just to show you, we can get it from our nobility state. We could grant a generalship, but we're at 80 influence. So that would be a bad idea. It would get us to 100, which is not what we want. 100 is bad. Don't let your states get to 100 influence. They start to try to take over your country. As soon as our morale kicks up. Are you at war? You're at war with us? Oh. We're gonna grab a claim from Canada. We're gonna grab Bolivia. Alright, we have our. We're gonna go attack them here because we have 20 to their. And we're also gonna move our troops in here. We're going to give the clergy estate loyalty for papal influence. And now we'll, as you can see, we're fighting in a war. Well, we're fighting in a naval battle that we're going to win while helping France. Our navies just fought. It was Aragon and Naples. Aragon has Naples under a personal union to start. So Naples will help Aragon in battle. It was us and Naples versus, it was Naples and Aragon versus France versus Castile and Provence. And we won thanks to our heavies. We captured 2 ships, which means our navy is grew by 2, and we killed a bunch of their ships. And then we won again. Now, I like to zoom in for combat. We're gonna unsiege. Here's how sieging works in combat. Provinces that are forts have to be like Toledo has a 3rd level fort. It has to be sieged down over time. This has a Burgos has a 2nd level fort, has to be sieged down over time. Valencia has a 3rd level fort, has to be sieged over time. Provinces like this, which you'll see in a minute, I'll bring up the siege screen, has no fort and can be sieged in a month. There we go. We're going to catch them, engage them in battle. They ran away. We took 20,000 men in a battle with 1,000. If you have 10 times the number of your enemy, you instantly stack wipe them. We're going to go siege down their capital. As you can see, we reconquered our province, and now we're going to siege down here. I will show you the difference between the two siege views in a minute. So, you can see that they have 0 men in garrison, and you can see that it'll be fully occupied at September 25th, 1446, which we will see. It is ours now. We occupy it, but until the peace deal happens, we don't get to take it, potentially take it. We occupy it for the moment. Aragon is going to go attack France, which is fine with us. Alright, so we are sieging down their capital, and there are all these modifiers here. This is Fort, okay. Every time a siege phase happens, which happen every 30 days, a dice is rolled 1 to 14. You can see the dice here. The roll isn't added together with the siege modifiers, which right now are -1. On a natural roll of 1, the attackers will suffer a disease outbreak that reduces their numbers by 5% of their maximum strength. The results of the roll are as follows. Disease outbreak 1, which is a 7% chance. Supply shortages, 5 to 11 chance, 50% chance. Food shortages, 12 to 13 chance, 14%. And then you can't have a water shortage, or defenders desert, or surrender on a 20, because we 14 -1, the highest possible roll is 13. Siege has been going on for 82 days, and next phase is in 9 days. Normally, also, you can see here that it takes 9 regiments pace. Normally you need 9, I usually do 1 over to account for siege outbreaks, but because we're at war with an army, with a country with an army who we haven't crushed yet, we're going to leave our full army here, even though they take extra unneeded attrition. Now, the phase modifier from the current siege status value goes from 0 to 12. Siege status is affected by supply shortages +1, food shortages +2, water shortages +3, defenders plus. Anyway, so supply shortages has a 50% chance to give us a +1 bonus for the next siege phase, a 14% chance for us to give us a +2 bonus for the next siege phase. We have either siege on our leader, so we're getting a +1. We have no artillery. Yeah, that's technical side of the military. It should be under a blockade. Maybe it's not registered yet. Yeah, so it's under a blockade. If these ships were not here, this would be a -2, and then modifier is a -3. We got lucky with our roll. So now our siege modifier is +2. We have a negative 36% chance to win this siege tick. I'm going to move this here. As you can see, the total modifiers add up to 0. Is 2 and 1 is 3, -3 is 0. Oh, no, this is not working. We just lost part of our army. If there's a wall breach, it gives a +3 siege bonus to roll. Artillery and steel are better by increasing the breach. And obsolete force, which these are not, are easier to breach. We're gonna go here. That's one way to do it. We're gonna use our navy to. We're using our transports that are part 2. So move this somewhere from here to here because the fort's in the way. Alternatively, we could have gone around the long way, but the game tries to path you the shortest possible path. Sometimes that path makes no sense, like it'll path you right through enemies. But if you want to path a certain way, you can hold down shift while you move the military, and it'll the units you want to move. It'll path the. It'll path the army to where you want to go. You can see that we're going to arrive on April 21st, 1447, which is now. Let's take a broader look at the war, see what's going on. France has conquered most of Brittany, except for this part, which is occupied by Provence. The English has occupied most of Provence, and this is under siege by the Aragonian army. Oops. I want to move these guys here. Keeping an eye on the army so that we can move them back if it's in this. We can pause. This is the war screen, which I want to show you anyway. We can see a couple things. We can see what the war is for, when it started, what the war goal is. Achieving the war goal, which they have, gets a ticking war score. The higher the war score, the more stuff you can demand. It goes from negative 100 to 100, with positive being good. France is a war leader, which means that they get to negotiate for the entire alliance. We can negotiate for ourselves, but if we do that, France will like us less. Hopefully France will at least give us our claim. You can also see the war enthusiasm. It goes from high, medium to low. Brittany's at low. At medium and low, countries start piecing out, are more likely to send higher peace deals. You can see in this war, it's France, Castile, us, Lorraine, Provence, Scotland, in the Isles, which is Scotland's vassal. And in the war on their side is Brittany, Aragon, Munster, Naples, which is Aragon's personal union, and Navarra, who we were going to try to vassalize. We have 75,000 infantry. They have 32,000 infantry. We have 20,000 cavalry. They have 10,000 cavalry. Nobody has cannons yet. We have 6 heavy ships, 18 light ships, 0 galleries, 27 transports. They have 1, 11, 10, and 15. We have the numbers advantage both in army and navy. This gives us a good chance to win the war. All things considering, having more troops is a good way to win wars. If both sides are at parity. You can see a history of the battles for both land and sea, and who won, what the war score was. And then if you have the right DLC enabled, you can see losses, which we cannot because we don't have any of the DLC enabled. Okay, checking in on our main siege, we're at 14% chance to win. We just won the siege. So we're gonna go siege down our claim, and then we're gonna go relieve the siege for France. You can see we have a naval battle started here because their ships came out of there. We crushed them. Alright. We're gonna go try to relieve that siege attack there. Hopefully France will come in and help us because we're about to be tight. So let's look at a battle. Right now we have the numbers disadvantage, but we do have 20,000 troops coming in. These troops are mainly here to hold them. So they have a 0 fire, 3 shock, 2 maneuver general with 1 siege pip. Fire and shock are what matters mainly for battle. Battle is broken down into a couple phases. There's the offensive fire phase, there's the defensive fire phase, there's the offensive shock phase, there's the defensive shock phase. The phases alternate. You'll see in a minute. You can see the dice are rolled, and then the bonuses are applied based on the number of pips in each ability. You can also see discipline, morale, tactics. When the fire phase. So he is getting a 0 bonus to his dice roll. Dice rolls roll from like 0 to 9. He's got 100 discipline, that's normal. He's got 2.8 base morale. We have 3.4 morale because of our Castilian traditions. So our troops, okay. Morale is how long your troops will stick around the fight. When the morale is depleted, when it hits 0, the battle is over. Higher morale means your troops will fight more. Discipline is the amount of damage your troops do. And then tactics is an additional number. Don't worry about that right now. Just know higher number is better. On the fire phase, you can see that units fire on units across from them. Units take damage individually, and how they line up is random, unfortunately. Cavalry can flank. They can hit units on either side of them, but they don't always end up on the end. For example, you'll see that they have cavalry here, but then they have infantry on the end. After the cavalry, these infantry can't shoot at anything. So even though they have higher numbers, not all their troops can shoot at mine. If it was done in a logical way, the cavalry would always be on the flanks no matter what, and units would reorganize to keep. But anyway, that's a much more detailed discussion than I want to get into for a tutorial series. Let's get back to the combat. And hold on. Now you can see that our troops are about to join, but the French troops joined, and now the French leader is like godlike. He's 4 fire, 4 shock. Early game shock is more important than fire. Later game that flips. Mainly due to artillery. This guy's a 4/4 and gets bonuses for quarter the roll. We're gonna win this combat even more when my other troops get there, which they just did. So we see a combat results screen. Aragon lost 5,063 infantry, 1,019, 1,911 guys. We lost 6,000 troops and almost 4,000 infantry. We won the battle, but we took more damage. Usually now you assign runners. That was mainly my troops, though. I'm going to combine my armies into one. Because the other one's weakened. And I'm going to park my entire army here. When an army loses a battle, it retreats. And if it's possible to catch the army, sometimes it is. While they're still shattered, you can instantly stack wipe them. Stack wipe means you kill all of their troops, as opposed to the battle that we had where it only killed some of the troops. You can see that they're running to go. We're going to follow them. But to follow them, we have to go all the way around. We're going to go siege our claim again. You can see that our allies are sieging here and here. We're not going to waste troops sieging. Where's this dude think he's going? Our truce with Granada has ended. We could declare war on them. gonna grab another claim. I'm gonna improve relations with France. Keep them high. We're going to issue an embargo on Burgundy because they're our rival, and we're going to improve relations with Castile. We had an alliance with Navarra, but we lost it because they're on the opposite side of the war with us, which can suck, but it happens. Alright. We're going to attack here. You can see this means a battle is expected to happen. Don't run away. You're not going to get away, are you? You might get away. Alright. This was something you should normally not do, which I did, which is attacking them. Okay. There's every province has terrain. Different terrain has different values. Some reduce penalties, some incur penalties to attacking, like now. Attacking into the mountains is a bad idea. Defending into the mountains is a great idea. Also, if your port, if your fort is the one, if you're attacking, if you're attacking your own fort, a province with a fort on it, you are always the defender, as long as the fort's not been sieged, has not been taken, occupied by the other country, by the other side. So if we, for example, if we were sieging here and they came and attacked us, even though we were here first, they would be the defender because it's their fort. Attacking in the mountains gives you a -2 terrain effect on all dice rolls, which isn't great. We may win this battle, we probably will, but we're gonna take extra losses. I'm doing it because I mainly want to break their army. Come on. Come on, good rolls, yes. Alright. You can see we lost slightly less men and way more tab, which are going to be more expensive to replace to keep their army shattered. They lost more men, but a lot less tab. We also had 0 manpower, which means that we have no more men to recruit. It has got to recover over time. We are going to go sit on our claim so it doesn't work. If you claim a province that's next to, you occupy a province that's next to a fort, and then you're no one sieging the fort, the fort will automatically unsiege provinces like it's doing here. So it's being reverted to Aragon from the fort, and Harusa progress is 87%. But if you sit on a province, it doesn't go away even if there's a fort next to it. So we're going to park our army on okay. Improvements in government technology. A few local workers in the administration have discovered what they claim is a more efficient way to handle documents. Obviously, they do not know what they're talking about, but can it hurt to let them try their new ideas? Spare no expenses, gain 50 inflation, gain 50 admin power, use caution, gain 10 admin power. Remember what I said in the first video about how important this power is? The moderate points are you want to do almost anything to gain admin power. So when it's 50 to 10, we're gaining the 50. The inflation's not a big deal. England is building more spy network. Also, once you're okay, war's over. we have a peace deal. Brittany has accepted peace with her former enemies, France, on the following terms. Brittany will cede Amor, Frenster, Varennes to France. Brittany will pay 140 ducats to France. This peace will cost France 93 diplo power. Yeah, peace deals cost you diplo power. The conquest of Cassavell, France will suffer a base of 23.2 aggressive expansion relations penalty. So, aggressive expansion is what other countries think of your. When you take provinces from your neighbors, you pick up aggressive expansion depending on the amount of provinces and a few other factors. If your aggressive expansion gets high enough, nations will potentially join a coalition against you. A coalition is where a group of nations rally together to try to take you down. If one nation in a coalition declares war on you, they will all join automatically, no ifs, ands, or buts. You want to try to keep coalitions manageable to a small number and or have strong allies that will defend you. It's usually the magic number is 50, aggressive expansion. France gains prestige, Brittany loses prestige, Provence gains power protection because they're rivals. We've gained a conquest Cassavell against Aragon, but we also have a truce with them. We've lost a humiliate rival CB because we have a truce with them. We're going to go to Toledo, we're going to split you in half, and send the other half to Madrid. We need 15,000 men to we're going to mop all our forts because it's no longer a war, but we're going to keep our army maintenance up. Navarre is a junior partner of Aragon, so we can no longer make them into a vassal. We should go to war with Granada. In fact, let's see if we do what happens. If we want to go to war with Granada, what will happen? France won't come in because it's a distance war. Portugal is allied to Granada? What? What? Granada is guaranteed by Portugal? What the f*** are you doing? Excuse my language. Portugal, why? Why are you... This means that if we attack Granada, we're going to have to fight Portugal. You actually allied? No, you're not actually allied, but you are guaranteeing their independence. That's for shame. Anyway, we're going to leave our units at full maintenance so that they can reinforce, and then we'll drop them to 0 maintenance. But we're coming up on 15 minutes. We just fought our first war successfully. We helped our ally, France, gain a bunch of provinces from Brittany. And I got to explain a little bit about the war mechanics. There's a lot more detail in war mechanics, but that I pretty much just gave you the basics. Watch your numbers, watch where you attack, and try to attack with superior numbers and better morale, tactics, and discipline, and you'll win more battles. You get morale, tactics, and discipline through military technology and ideas. Anyway, we're gonna pause it here. We're gonna save. Go to the menu, also the shortcut escape. we're going to overwrite the teaching series. That's it for today's video. I look forward to seeing you in part 3 of the EU4 teaching series. That's what I think I'm going to be calling it when it goes up on YouTube. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Again, if you have questions either about this video or the game in general, please drop them below. I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll see you next time. Stay happy and stay happy. Have a great rest of the day. I hope that if you're playing along with me, that playing Conceal along with me, that you're enjoying the game and that these videos are informative. If there's specific topics you'd like me to cover within the game, let me know, and I'll do my best to do videos for those, or cover those in the tutorial city and in the tutorial series. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.